Hello students, welcome to the KCET NEET JEE classes. In this video, I am going to solve certain multiple choice questions from hydrocarbons chapter. So before solving the questions, first let's study some of the important concepts that you have studied in the hydrocarbons. Particularly in this video, I am going to explain about alkanes and the questions from alkanes. So, the general formula of alkanes was given by CnH2n plus 2. So, if any compound satisfies this formula, then we can say the given compound is an alkane and it is a saturated compound. Saturated compound means it consists of a single bond. And alkanes are also called as paraffins because they are inert. That means they won't react with acids, bases or other reagents at normal conditions, and thus we call alkanes as paraffins. Along with this, you have to know the different types of carbon atom that we can observe in any compound. So primary carbon, what does this primary carbon means? It is attached to one carbon atom only. Then such kind of carbon is said to be primary carbon atom. And if the carbon is attached to two other carbon atoms, then it is said to be secondary carbon atom. And suppose if it is attached to three other carbon atoms, then it is said to be tertiary carbon atom. And if it is attached to four other carbon atoms, then we call it as quaternary carbon atom. So remember these types of carbon atoms so that you can easily able to solve the questions which are asked in the examination. Along with this, we have studied the isomerism. Isomerism means it is the phenomena where the compounds have same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. And the number of isomers of alkanes formed for different compounds are given here. So in case of C4H10, that is butane, the number of isomers obtained are 2. And in case of pentane, the number of isomers formed will be 3. And in hexane, the number of isomers is 5, and heptane, number of isomers is 9, and octane we will get 18, and decane we will get 75 isomers. So just remember the number of isomers which are formed for these alkanes. Next we will see some general methods of preparation of alkanes. How we can prepare the alkanes. There you have studied the different methods to prepare the alkenes in theory classes. So let's see what are those methods. We can prepare the alkanes from unsaturated hydrocarbons. And that kind of preparation is said to be Sabatier and Sanderson's reaction. So Sabatier and Sandersson reactions, they are usually used to prepare the alkanes from unsaturated hydrocarbons. Let's see the example for this. If we take an alkene, that is CH2 double bond CH2, upon hydrogenation, that is addition of hydrogen will takes place in presence of the catalyst. It may be nickel or palladium or platinum, and the temperature is maintained around about 200 degrees Celsius to 300 degrees Celsius. So at this condition, the alkenes, they will get converted into alkanes, CH3, CH3. So this is how we will prepare the alkanes from unsaturated hydrocarbons, and that is known as Sabatier and Sanderson's reaction. In generally, we can represent CnH2n, that is an alkene, upon hydrogenation in presence of catalyst, we will get the alkane, that is CnH2n plus 2. And similarly, from alkynes also we can prepare. There we will take CnH2n minus 2 plus. If 1 mole of hydrogen is added, then alkenes gets converted into alkanes. If we add 2 moles of hydrogen to the alkynes, then we will get alkanes, because upon addition of 1 mole of hydrogen, alkynes gets converted into alkenes. Again, upon addition of 1 mole of hydrogen, alkenes gets converted into alkanes. So the catalyst, this will also takes place in presence of a catalyst, okay, and the temperature 200 degrees Celsius to 300 degrees Celsius. So this is one method to prepare alkanes. Now let's see the another method of preparation of alkanes. By heating anhydrous sodium salt of fatty acid with soda lime or sodium lime. Okay, so as you have already know this, just I will write the reaction RCOONA plus NaOH and as well as calcium oxide. Upon heating, it will form RH plus Na2CO3. So this is an alkane along with sodium carbonate we will get. So here the anhydrous sodium salt of fatty acid, this is RCOONA, will react with the soda lime. Soda lime means mixture of NaOH and CaO. The mixture of NaOH and CaO is said to be soda lime. Remember this. Okay. So upon heating with the soda lime, we will get the alkane. And this is the laboratory method. Means we can prepare the alkanes in the laboratory by using this method. Simply take one example. Here R may be any group. It may be alkyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl or anything. So I will take methyl group CH3, COONA plus NaOH, CaO. Upon heating, we will get, here R means what? CH3. Okay, here I have taken CH3. Along with that, another H is there. So I will write CH4 plus Na2CO3. So therefore, we will get alkane, that is methane. Okay, the name of the compound is methane. So this is one method to prepare pure methane. Usually the alkanes are obtained in pure form by using laboratory method. Okay, so by heating anhydrous sodium salt of fatty acid with soda lime, we will get pure alkanes. Remember this. Then next method to prepare the alkanes is by reduction of alkyl halides with nascent hydrogen. So nascent hydrogen means, what does it mean? Nascent hydrogen is nothing but the single hydrogen atom. It is said to be nascent hydrogen. Now when we treat that nascent hydrogen with alkyl halides, so let's take in general Rx. When we treat the alkyl halides with nascent hydrogen, okay, 2 moles of nascent hydrogen, we will get RH plus HX. So here RH, here R is any alkyl group, okay, which is attached to H. In general, we can take any group here, okay, CH3, okay, X plus, we can take in place of X, we will take Br. So 2H, what I will get? CH4 plus HBr. So this is one method to prepare the alkanes. And here we have to use reducing agents. It may be Zn bar HCl, or we can also use sodium in ethanol, C2H5OH. So these will act as reducing agents here. Okay, so remember this. Then fourth method, Wood's synthesis. The alkanes with even number of carbon atoms can be prepared by this method. So as you have already studied Wood's synthesis, what we will do there? Simply we will take an alkyl halide. When 2 moles of alkyl halide is taken and treated with 2 moles of sodium in presence of dry ether, then we will get alkane along with 2NaX, sodium halide. So this is the Wood's synthesis. And here R may be anything. Let's take this one as R dash. And here we will get R dash. So let's take an example. CH3X plus 2Na plus CH3CH2X in presence of dry ether. What we will get? CH3. R dash means CH3CH2. I will write CH2CH3 plus 2Na. X I have taken, so NaX. In place of X, we can take Cl or Br or anything. Okay, so this is how we can prepare the alkanes by Wood's synthesis. Very important one. Remember this. Okay. Next one, Frankland's method. This method is used when an alkyl iodide is there. So when alkyl iodide is treated with zinc, then we get alkane. Okay, so here we will take 2 moles of Ri and 2 moles of zinc. Then we will get the alkyl iodide along with zinc iodide. So this is one method to prepare the alkanes, Frankland's method, which is especially used to prepare the alkanes from alkyl iodides in presence of zinc. So these are the named reactions. Frankland's, Wood's, these are the name of the scientist, and you have to remember these named reactions. Okay. Then from Grignard's reagent. So Grignard reagent means it is an alkyl magnesium halide. It is said to be Grignard reagent. Now if we take any compound, okay, and I will react with the Grignard reagent, then we will get the MgX along with RH. So here we will get the alkane by using Grignard's reagent. And here H must be attached to oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen or sp hybridized carbon atom. Then only this reaction will take place. Here I have written compound and H. That means this H should be attached to any compound which should consist of OSN or sp hybridized carbon atom, and those should be attached to H. Then only this reaction will take place, and this is one method to prepare the alkanes. Another method is Kolbe's electrolytic method, that you have already studied in regular classes also. Just we will take RCOOK, that is an fatty acid. It will form RCOO minus plus K plus. First it will get ionized, and upon fractionation finally we will get RR. So in detail you have studied the Kolbe's electrolytic method. So it is used to prepare alkanes by using sodium salt of fatty acid, and it is carried out through electrolysis process to form alkanes. Remember this. Then another one is by Clemenson's reduction. Here simply carbonyl group, it will reacts with hydrogen to form the alkane along with the formation of water. And here we will use ZnHg, zinc amalgam, in presence of concentrated HCl for reducing this carbonyl group to form alkane. So this is Clemenson's reduction. Important one, remember this. Then by Wolff-Kishner reduction. This is the another method to prepare the alkanes from carbonyl groups. Carbonyl means C double bond O. It is said to be carbonyl. Again, when it reacts with hydrogen, it will form the alkanes along with the relation of water. And here the reagents that we use is NH2, NH2 along with KOH in presence of glycerol. Okay, sorry, glycol. Okay, so this is the Wolff-Kishner reduction method. Next one, by Barthold's reaction. Here simply carbon reacts with hydrogen to form CH4, methane, by passing an electric current, that is electric arc. So when carbon is treated with hydrogen in presence of an electric arc, it will form methane, and it is said to be Barthold's reaction. And Corey-House alkane synthesis. We will take an alkyl halide and treated with the lithium metal. Then it will give RLi plus LiX, lithium chloride and alkyl lithium. And this alkyl lithium, it is further treated with copper iodide to form LiR2Cu plus lithium iodide. So lithium alkyl copper will be formed. And then any alkyl halide, when it is treated with this LiR2Cu, that is lithium alkyl copper, it will give alkane along with RCu plus lithium bromide. So this is said to be Corey-House alkane synthesis, which is used to prepare alkanes by using alkyl halide in presence of lithium in dry ether, simply ether medium. Okay, so these are all the different methods to prepare alkanes. We will see conformations of alkanes. As you already know, there are two different ways to represent the conformations, that is Newman projection and Sahars's projection. We will see the conformations of propane, because as we have already studied the conformations of ethane, so conformations of propane can be observed in three different types, that is eclipsed, staggered and skew. So here staggered means it is exactly opposite and the bond angle is around about 120 degree. And here the bond angle, that is theta, is less than 60 degree. And skew means the bond angle will be 60 degree. If theta is equal to 60 degree, then we call it as skew conformation. So these are the three different types of conformations of propane. The next, conformations of butane. What are the conformations of butane? We will see. So here you can see four different conformations. One is total or fully eclipsed. That means theta is equal to 0 degree almost. And here gauche or skew. Here theta is equal to 60 degree. And eclipsed. Here theta is less than 60 degree. And anti or staggered. Here theta is equal to 120 degree. That is exactly opposite. So these are the 4 different types of conformations of butane. Remember, what is the difference between fully eclipsed or eclipsed and Gaussian as well as staggered or NT conformations. Okay. Then conformations of cyclohexane. In case of cyclic structures, the conformations are represented in 2 forms, that is chair and boat form. So chair form of conformation is most stable and boat form is less stable. Here you can observe the chair form and boat form. The first diagram that you will observe is chair form. So this chair form, when it is slightly twisted, it will get converted into half chair form. Okay, half chair form. And again, if we further twist that, then it will give twisted boat form. Twisted boat form. And finally, it will give boat form. So first chair form gets converted into half chair, then twisted boat, and finally boat form. So mainly we will get these 2 forms of cyclohexane, chair form and boat form. And here at each point you will get the carbon. Carbon atoms are there and the hydrogen atoms are attached to these carbon atoms. Okay. And among these, chair form is more stable. Why it is? Because here you can see this carbon and this carbon, they are present opposite to each other. That means the repulsive force which are present in chair form is very less as compared to boat form. Because in boat form, the repulsion will be observed here between these carbon and this carbon, because both are adjacent to each other and near to each other, and thus a repulsive force will be more in case of boat form, and hence it is less stable. Okay, we will call it as strain. Instead of repulsive force, we will use the term strain. Here strain is more and hence it is less stable, and here strain is less and hence it is more stable. Okay, remember this. So now we will move to solve the questions from alkanes. First one, arrange the following in decreasing order of their boiling points. N-butane, option B 2-methyl butane, option C N-pentane, and option D 2,2-dimethyl propane. So let's see here. First I will write down the structures of these. Butane, it consists of 4 carbon atoms. So I will represent it as CH2, CH2, CH3. It is butane. Okay. And pentane, how we can write? Normal pentane. CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Because it consists of 5 carbon atoms. This is pentane. And next, 2-methyl butane. 2-methyl butane means here CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, it is butane. At second carbon atom, the methyl group is attached. Then it becomes 2-methyl butane. Okay. Then 2,2-dimethyl propane. Dimethyl propane means, so CH3, CH3. Okay, here it is CH. Okay, CH3, CH3. And dimethyl, 2 methyl groups are attached to second carbon atom. So this H will be removed. So it is said to be 2,2-dimethyl propane. So these are all the structures of the given options. Now in this case, which one is having higher boiling point? As in the theory classes you have learnt that the isomer which is having straight chain and higher alkane is having high boiling point as well as melting point. So among these, the one which is higher alkane is pentane and it is having straight chain. So compared to butane, pentane is having straight chain and consists of more carbon atoms. So molecular weight increases and therefore the boiling point will also increases. So this N-pentane, which is option C, is having higher boiling point, first one. Then after this, which one is having slightly less boiling point than pentane? So will it be butane? No, because in 2-methyl butane also 5 carbon atoms are there, and in 2,2-dimethyl also 5 carbon atoms are there. So after these things, the butane is having lesser boiling point because it consists of only 4 carbon atoms. So thus it will comes at 4th position, that is butane, that is option 4th. It is having least boiling point. And among these two, which one is having more boiling point? 2-methyl or 2,2-dimethyl? Since both consist of 5 carbon atoms, as you know, in case of isomers, if it is branched, then it is having lower boiling point. If it is having straight chain, then it is having higher boiling point. Among these two, which one is more branched? This 2,2-dimethyl propane is more branched, and hence it is having low boiling point compared to 2-methyl butane because it is less branched. So therefore, the 2-methyl butane will comes second and 2,2-dimethyl propane will comes third. Okay, now arrange this in the decreasing order. First, which one will comes? C. It is having greater boiling point than B, greater boiling point than D, D is greater boiling point than A. So this is the decreasing order of their boiling points. So which option is right here? First C. So this option D will be the correct answer. So second one, arrange the halogens fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine in order of their increasing reactivity with alkanes. So as you already know, the fluorine is more reactive, okay, and chlorine is less reactive than fluorine, or chlorine is more reactive than bromine, and bromine is more reactive than iodine. So this is the order of arrangement of reactivity with alkanes, but they have given increasing, means you have to go from least to most. So thus iodine is having lesser than Br2, lesser reactivity than chlorine, and chlorine is having lesser reactivity than fluorine. So this is the correct order of arrangement. So which one is right here? So option A, iodine is lesser reactive than Br, Br is less than Cl, Cl is less than fluorine. Option A will be the correct answer. Then third one, which of the following reactions of methane shows incomplete combustion? So incomplete combustion means the oxygen amount should be insufficient. So first option C, here CH4 reacts with oxygen to form CH3OH, methanol. Second option B, CH4 reacts with oxygen to form formaldehyde. CH4 reacts with oxygen to form carbon along with water vapors. And CH4 reacts with oxygen to form CO2 and 2H2O. So from options, if you observe the reaction carefully, in option C, only carbon is formed. No oxygen has reacted with carbon. That means it has undergone incomplete combustion compared to all other three. Because here very less amount of oxygen is there. Due to that, the carbon formed only. No oxygen is present along with carbon. Therefore, it has undergone incomplete combustion. So option C is the right one. In other cases, you will find oxygen in all the products form. But here, it will not have any oxygen. So option C is the right answer. Fourth one, the correct IUPAC name of following alkane is. So here they have given one compound, you have to name this. So follow the IUPAC rules. And now here, To follow the IUPAC rules, you should know all the rules of IUPAC. Because see here, in this chain, you have to select the longest chain. Which one is the longest chain? So see first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is the longest chain. Okay. Now if I take in this manner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is also the longest chain. And I can take this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also the longest chain. Now which one will we have to consider to name the alkane? Remember, when the number of carbon atoms in long chain is same, then you have to see from which chain we will get more substituent groups. Or when we number the chain, that should consist more number of substituent groups. So if we take this straight chain, then how many substituents you will get? 2 substituents. Instead of that, if I number this chain as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, how many substituents I will get? See here, if I take this chain, okay, now here one substituent is attached, that is 1. And at third position, one substituent is there. And 1/6 position, one substituent is there. So 3 substituent groups are attached if we take this kind of numbering. Suppose if we take the straight linear chain, then we will get only 2 substituents. So remember IUPAC rules. So if you know all the IUPAC rules, then only you can able to solve the problems like this. Otherwise, you will get confused and you will take the wrong option. Okay. So now 3 substituents are there in this chain. So I have numbered like this. Now name this. So in this chain, 8 carbon atoms are there. So what prefix you will use? Oct. Okay. All are single bonds, ANE. There is no functional group. Okay. Now you have to use the prefix. So prefix indicates substituent. So how many substituents are there? 3 substituents are there. This CH3 is methyl substituent. And here CH2, it is CH3. Okay, CH2, CH3. It is ethyl group. And this one is also ethyl group. So 2 ethyl groups and 1 methyl group is there. So how to name this? So first, when 2 ethyl groups are there, then you have to take the ethyl groups first, because eth will comes first. So therefore write ethyl. So at what position ethyl groups are there? At third position and at 6th position. So we will write 3, 6 diethyl, because 2 ethyl groups are there. Only if 1 ethyl group is there, then we will use ethyl. So here 2 ethyl groups are there. So I have written diethyl. And after this, at second position, methyl group is there. So I will write 2 methyl. So 2 methyl octane. So this is the name of the compound. 3,6-dimethyl, 2-methyl octane. So remember all the IUPAC rules. So from any competitive examination, either it may be JEE, NEET or KCET, you will get at least one question from IUPAC nomenclature. So try to remember the rules and name the compound. So option A is the right here. Fifth one, successive alkanes differ by. So successive alkanes means conjugated alkanes, like CH4. The next member is C2H6. Next member is C3H8. So in between these two, what is the difference? One carbon atom, because here C2 is there, here C1. So one carbon atom is different. Here H4 is there and here H6 is there. So what is the difference in the number of hydrogen atoms? 2. So CH2, and here also the difference is CH2. So the successive alkanes differ by CH2 unit. Therefore option A will be the right one. Sixth one, Wood's reaction involve the interaction of alkyl halides in dry ether with, as you already know, the Wood's synthesis. So Rx in presence of sodium in a dry ether medium, we will get RR along with 2NaX. So therefore sodium is the reagent here, and therefore option A will be the right one. So if you remember the at least named reactions, then you can easily answer such questions. Then seventh one, ethane is formed by the reaction of methyl iodide and sodium metal in dry ether solution. The reaction is known as, again, methyl iodide. Methyl iodide means CH3I. When it reacts with sodium metal in presence of dry ether, then you will get CH3CH3. Here you have to take 2 moles of methyl iodide. So again you will get what? 2NaI. So now which reaction it is? Again it is Wood's reaction. So whenever they given sodium metal in dry ether solution, it is Wood's reaction only. And this should be an alkyl halide. Okay. So option C is the correct one. Then eighth one, which of the following cannot be prepared by Wood's reaction? So the Wood's reaction, here you can see C2H6. Will it be prepared? That is ethane. Just now we have seen the example. Ethane can be prepared. And C3H8. This can also be prepared, which is propane. Okay. So simply if we take CH3I plus CH3 CH2I plus 2Na, what it will give? CH3 CH2 CH3. That is propane. So that can also be prepared in presence of dry ether. That is Wood's reaction. And C4H10. That is also, instead of CH3, if I take CH3 CH2I, and here also CH3 CH2I, then I will get CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3. So C4H10 can also be prepared by Wood's reaction. But is it possible to prepare methane? Because only one carbon is there. So which compound you are going to take? So that is not possible. So methane cannot be prepared by Wood's reaction. Ninth one, formation of alkanes by action of zinc on alkyl halides is called. So action of zinc on alkyl halides to form alkanes. While studying synopsis, you have studied Ri plus Zn, okay, will gives Rr plus Zn(I2). Which reaction it is? Frankland's reaction. Okay, so that's why I'm telling, and remember at least named reactions so that you can easily answer those. So option A is the correct one. 10th, for preparing an alkane, a concentrated solution of sodium or potassium salt of saturated carboxylic acid is subjected to. So to prepare alkanes, we have studied RCOOK. Upon electrolysis, it will gives RR. Which reaction it is? Coal-base electrolytic method. So therefore, by using coal-base electrolytic method, we can prepare the alkane by electrolysis. So which option is right here? Option D. Then 11th one, the pure methane can be produced by. So as I have already mentioned, the laboratory method, pure alkanes can be prepared by laboratory method. There we have taken soda lime, okay, NaOH in presence of CaO. Upon heating, what we will get? We will get, so here RCOONA, fatty acid. When it is treated with soda lime, it will give RH along with Na2CO3. Now if I take CH3 here, CH3COONA plus NaOH in presence of soda lime, upon heating I will get CH4 along with sodium carbonate. So this is the one of the method to get pure methane. So which reaction it is? Option C, soda lime decarboxylation, because we will remove CO2. So therefore we can call it as decarboxylation reaction. Okay. Then 12th one, which of the following liberates methane on treatment with water? So usually this is obtained by treating metal carbides with water. We will get the methane. Especially two reactions you have to remember. From two metal carbides we will get the methane on treatment with water. So one is when aluminum carbide reacts with water, then it will form aluminum hydroxide along with CH4. Methane will be obtained. And another one is beryllium carbide. Upon hydrolysis, we will get barium hydroxide along with methane. So these are the two metal carbides which will give the methane on treatment with water or on hydrolysis. So which option is right here? Silicon carbide, it will not give. Calcium carbide will also not give. Magnesium carbide will also not give. So beryllium carbide will give the methane on treatment with water. So option C is the right one. 13th, which of the following methods is most appropriate for the manufacture of methane? So reduction of CH2Cl2. Will we get methane first? That you have to know. After that we have to think whether it is most appropriate or not. Reduction of CH2Cl2, it will not give the methane because hydrogen will not able to replace the chlorine, because chlorine here it comes by replacing hydrogen. Again reverse is not possible, so it is not possible to obtain methane by the reduction of CH2Cl2. And Wood's reaction, it is not applicable for methane since it consists of only one carbon. So this is also not appropriate method. Then liquefaction of natural gas. So natural gas mainly consists of methane. So by the liquefaction of natural gas, we can manufacture the methane. So option C, this is the most appropriate method to manufacture methane. Okay. Then 14th one, the reaction or method that does not give an alkane is catalytic hydrogenation of alkenes. This method you have already studied. It will give the alkane. Okay, hydrogenation in presence of catalyst, that is said to be catalytic hydrogenation. And dehydrohalogenation of alkyl bromide. So dehydrohalogenation of alkyl bromide, it will not give the alkane, but instead of that it gives alkene. So how we can represent this dehydrohalogenation? Simply take an alkyl halide. Okay, so here they have taken alkyl bromide. So just write down C, these are H, okay, and Br, okay. So when it is treated with KOH, that is alcoholic KOH or potash, then we will get C double bond C along with KX plus water. So this is said to be dehydrohalogenation, because hydrogen, water is also removed, hydro and halogen also removed. So dehydrohalogenation of alkyl bromide will give alkene. Okay, but they have asked which one will give alkane. So this method does not give. Hydrolysis of alkyl magnesium bromide, that is Grignard reagent, RMgX. Here instead of X they have given Br, which is an Grignard reagent. And Kolbe's electrolytic method, that is also used to prepare alkane. So option B, it will not give an alkane. Then 15th one, name this compound. So what is the name of this compound? Again, select the longest chain. Which one is the longest chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one is the longest chain. So first you have to see which one is longest chain. So only the longest chain is this one. So I will name this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have named this. We can number this chain from this side also, but the substituent will get most number, not least number. So therefore we have to number the chain such that the carbon which consists of substituent should get least number. Now what is the name of this compound? Simply 8 carbon atoms are there, so octane, all are single bonds. Okay, and at what position ethyl and methyl groups are there? Here they have given simply a bond line notation. So here there is a presence of CH2. So CH2 CH3 is ethyl. Okay, and here at third position methyl is there. So which one you will take first? Ethyl, because alphabetically E comes first, M comes later. So therefore first you have to write ethyl. At what position it is there? Fourth position. So 4. How many ethyl groups are there? Only one ethyl. So 4 ethyl. And then 3 methyl. At third position methyl is there. So 4 ethyl, 3 methyl, octane. That is the correct answer. So option C is the right one. 16. When neopentyl bromide is subjected to Wood's reaction, the product formed is. Neopentyl bromide means neopentane, that consists of one bromine. So simply see the reaction. Wood's reaction, you know, sodium metal should be present and dry ether should be the medium. Let's take neopentyl. CH3, C, CH3, CH3, and CH3 should not be written here because bromine is there. So CH2, Br. Instead of one hydrogen, we have to write bromine. So it is 1 mole. Plus I will take 2 Na. Plus I will take another mole of neopentyl bromide. CH3, C, CH2, Br. Now I will write here. And CH3, CH3. This is the another neopentyl bromide. Now what happens? This 1 Na will react with 1 Br and another 2 Na are there. So another one will react with another Br. So what it will form? 2 NaBr will be obtained. Okay. So now if I remove the Br, CH2, CH2 get linked. So how we can write the compound? CH3, C, CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2, C, CH3, CH3, CH3. So just remove the Br atoms and link the CH2, CH2 with each other. Then we will get this compound. So what is the name of this compound? Select the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is the longest chain. So thus hex, all are single bonds, ANE, hexane. And number this, you can number this from any side because the methyl groups are attached to second position only. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at second and fifth position, methyl groups are attached. So how we can write? At second position, 2 methyl groups are there. So 2, 2. And at fifth position, 2 methyl groups are there. 5, 5. Now, how many methyl groups are there totally? 4. So tetra methyl hexane. So 2, 2, 5, 5. Tetramethyl hexane. This is the compound formed by Wood's reaction with neopentyl bromide. So which option is right here? Option C. Then 17th one, hydrocarbon which is liquid at room temperature is. As you know, higher alkanes from carbon 1 to carbon 4, they are present in gaseous form. From carbon 5 to carbon 15, they are present in liquid form. And from carbon 18 and above that, they are present in solid form. So here you can just see butane, it consists of 4 carbon, propane 3 carbons, ethane 2 carbons, pentane 5 carbons. So all these 3 are present in gaseous form and this one is present in liquid form. So therefore option A, pentane is present in liquid at room temperature. 18th one, which of the following isomers will have highest boiling point? So first count the number of carbon atoms in each chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In all the options, the number of carbon atoms is same. So now you have to select which one is having highest boiling point. Simply you know, the one with linear chain or straight chain has highest boiling point. So option A, it consists of linear or straight chain. So it is having highest boiling point. So option A is the correct answer. If the number of carbon atoms are different, then we have to see which one is having highest and which one is having lowest boiling point. Because higher alkenes are having higher boiling point due to their increase in molecular size. Now all are having same carbon atoms here. So therefore option A will be the right one. 19th one, how many chlorobutanes will be obtained on chlorination of N-butane? N-butane means normal butane. So write the structure first. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. It is the butane. Now I can remove one hydrogen and I will add chlorine. So CH3, CH2, 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 Cl. I will remove one hydrogen and I will add one chlorine. This is monochlorobutane. What is the name of the compound? 1-chlorobutane. Okay. Now instead of that, I can add the chlorine at this carbon also. So what is the name of the compound? CH3, CH2, CHCl, CH3. What is the name of the compound? 2-chlorobutane. This is the another possibility. Now I can remove the hydrogen here and I can substitute the chlorine here. What you will get? CH3, CHCl, CH2, CH3. So what is the name of the compound? Now you want to say 3-chlorobutane because you have to number from this side because then it will get least number. Okay. So therefore what is the name of the compound? Again it is 2-chlorobutane. So suppose if you remove the hydrogen here and substitute Cl, what you will get? Again you will get 1-chlorobutane. So possibility of monochlorobutanes in butane upon chlorination will be 1 chlorobutane and 2 chlorobutane. So how many monochlorobutanes will be obtained? 2. So therefore option B is the right one. 20th, conversion of CH4 to CH3Cl is an example of methane to methyl chloride. You have studied one mechanism, CH4, when it is treated with Cl2 in presence of light, you will get CH3Cl. Again, when CH3Cl is treated with chlorine in presence of HNu, what you will get? CH2Cl2. Again, CH2Cl2, when it is treated with chlorine, you will get CHCl3, and CHCl3 upon treating with chlorine, you will get CCl4. So what reaction it is? Free radical substitution, halogenation. In theory class you have studied this and you have to remember that mechanism. So therefore it is carried out through free radical substitution reaction. So option C will be the right one. 21st, the cycloalkane having the lowest heat of combustion per CH2 group is. So if you want to calculate lowest heat of combustion, that should release least amount of heat energy on combustion. So to find out that, you should know which one is having less strain in that given option. So cyclohexane is given. Okay, it is cyclohexane. This is cyclopropane. That you should know. These are bond line notations. Cyclopropane, and this is cyclobutane, and it is cyclopentane. Among these, which one is having the least strain? As I have already told you, instead of repulsive force, I will use strain here. So whatever compound is having least strain, that will have lowest heat of combustion. Okay, both are directly proportional to each other. So if the strain is less, heat of combustion is also less. Now how to find the strain which is present in the compound? There we use one theory that is said to be Bayer's strain theory. Bayer's strain theory. So according to Bayer's strain theory, lesser the angle of deviation, lesser will be heat of combustion. Means lesser will be strain. So if the angle of deviation is less, then the strain will also be less. So here, how to find the angle of deviation, that you should know. So there simply, if we want to find the cyclohexane first, angle of deviation in cyclohexane, we will use the formula half into 109 degree 28 minutes minus the angle in cyclohexane is 120 degree. So how much you will get? Minus 5 degree 61 minutes. Sorry, 16 minutes. Okay, this is the angle of deviation. Minus 5 degree 16 minutes. Then second one is cyclopropane. For cyclopropane, angle of deviation will be obtained as half 109 degree 28 minutes minus, and angle in cyclopropane is 60 degree. Okay, so how much we will get? 24 degree 44 minutes. And in case of cyclopentane, how we can calculate? Half 109 degree 28 minutes minus, in pentane the bond angle is 108 degree. So that we will get 0.44 minutes. 0 degree 44 minutes. And in cyclobutane, how we can calculate? Cyclobutane is equal to half into 109 degree 28 minutes minus the bond angle is 90 degree. So we will get 9 degree 44 minutes. So among these, which one is having least angle of deviation? Least angle of deviation is cyclohexane, that is minus 5 degree 16 minutes. These are all in plus form and this is present in minus form. So least strain is there. So therefore lowest heat of combustion will be present. Lesser the angle, lesser will be the strain, and the lesser will be the heat of combustion. Okay, so remember, to find the angle of deviation, you have to take half into 109 degree 28 minutes minus the angle in that cyclic structure, that you have to take. Okay, if you know that, you can easily calculate the angle of deviation. From that you can calculate which one is having lesser strain, and according to that you can calculate whatever they will ask, which is dependent on strain. So this is how we will determine. So which option is right here now? Option A, cyclohexane is having lowest heat of combustion. 22nd, on mixing a certain alkane with chlorine and irradiating with ultraviolet light, it forms only one monochloroalkane. This alkane could be pentane. It has linear structure, so it will not give only one, it gives the 3 chloroalkanes. Okay, so here chlorine can be attached here, here, or here. Okay, 3 different monochloroalkanes will be obtained. And in case of isopentane, CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH3. Again here you can obtain the different chloroalkanes. Here you can attach here or here. Okay. Next, in neopentane, what is the structure? CH3, C, CH3, CH3, CH3. Here see, if I remove one of the hydrogen and I will add Cl here, CH2Cl. The name of the compound is same when we remove the chlorine from, when you remove the hydrogen from this position also. As well as if we remove hydrogen and substitute chlorine, then also it will give the same answer. That means from whatever position you will remove hydrogen and substitute chlorine, you will get the same chloroalkane. So thus neopentane will get only one, or will form only one monochloroalkanes. So option C will be the right one. 23rd, which one of the following conformations of cyclohexane is chiral? So chiral means what? Chiral means the one which is attached to different atoms. Chiral carbon you have already studied. Carbon which is attached to different atoms or groups is said to be chiral carbon, and it is asymmetric. Asymmetric structure it has, because you will get different parts when you place the plane of symmetry. Now here, which one among these will show the chiral form of cyclohexane? So if you take the boat form, okay, that boat form, if you take the plane of symmetry, then you will get the symmetric structure. As well as in chair form, okay, if you place the plane mirror, you will get the symmetric structure. And rigid is not obtained. And chair, that you have seen, twist boat. In twist boat, the carbon atoms are not symmetric. Okay, the structure is not symmetric because it is twisted, and thus we can say the twist boat of cyclohexane is chiral. That means it is asymmetric structure. It is having asymmetric structure. Option B will be the right answer. So these are some questions from alkanes in hydrocarbons. So just to go through all the concepts and be perfect in theory, so that you can easily answer to the questions asked for CET, NEET or JEE. So this is all about alkanes.